Hello, my name is Cassie Brown and I'm a sugarcraft specialist who is passionate about airbrushing, and I'm very excited to say that this is our new airbrush. It's been 3 years in the making, but it sprays metallic colours. I bet you can't wait to have a go. So when you unpack your brand new airbrush, I'm just going to explain the different components that you have and how you put it together. This is your compressor. This is your braided air hose, which is quite long. We have a little valve here that will change from dual action to single. We have an airbrush holder, and then of course most importantly we have the airbrush. So let me just explain how to put it all together. You start with the air hose and we gently screw it onto the compressor. Now the little airbrush holder just slots into the little holder there, and then we take our airbrush and we gently screw that little nut on so that it's just finger tight, and then we're ready to go. Now I'm going to show you how to change your dual action airbrush into a single action airbrush, but first let me just explain the difference. So it comes set up like this, and this is a dual action airbrush. So we press down to release the air, which comes out of here, and then we pull back to release the colour. So that's your dual action airbrush. Now to change it to a single action airbrush, it's really simple. We just unscrew our hose and then unscrew this little valve right at the bottom. And then it comes with a separate little valve that you just need to attach. There's only one way it'll fit on, so you can't do this wrong. And then we screw the air hose back on, just so that it's finger tight, don't over tighten it. Now what this means is that there's going to be a constant flow of air, and I can't push down on the lever anymore. I only have to worry about pulling back for the colour. So this is a single action airbrush. So with this airbrush, it's wonderful for spraying metallics and also for doing really large areas. It's got a very large cup on the top, and it's also got your lid, so it'll hold a lot more colour. But I'm also going to show you, if you're lucky enough to have the CD30, how to attach that to get your really fine lines. So we gently unscrew the air hose, like so, and then the little valve at the bottom. Put that down for one moment. Now this is the CD30, and on your CD30 you've got just a push hose that pushes onto that section. What we need to do is just gently unscrew, put your new valve onto the bottom, and then attach your air hose. And then that is going to be perfect for doing really fine lines, lovely shading on flowers, and all your delicate work. Now if you haven't got the CD30, don't panic, we've covered that as well. So what you can buy now is this one here. This is a wonderful airbrush. Again, it's got a lid on it. You can change it from a single to a dual action, but it does those really fine lines, so it's well worth buying. Now I'm going to be showing you the different effects with metallics by spraying them onto a lighter colour and a darker base colour. So now we're going to show you what the different metallics look like when they're sprayed onto this sugar board that we've pre-iced. And as you can see, we've got one half already sprayed in the black and then one half left white. We're going to start by using the metallic pearl. Now always shake the bottle well before use. Just flip the lid and place a few drops in the colour well. And then we're going to come to the side of the board and gently start spraying over the top. And straight away you can see the difference between the white and the black. Now we're going to move to the next colour, so I'm just going to clean that out, ready for the next colour to go in. And now we're going to spray the next colour, which is going to be the metallic gold. So same again, you always give the bottle a good shake. And then we put the colour into the airbrush. Now always make sure that you've cleaned the airbrush properly and you're getting the right colour coming out. Then again, we're going to go above what we've just sprayed and gently go from side to side. Now can you see there's quite a dramatic difference between the two colours? Just going to put a little bit more colour in on there. Doesn't that look stunning? Now ready for my next colour. So now we're going to put the silver over the top again. Give it a good shake. Put the silver into the colour well. Again, we always test on that spare paper. And then we're ready to go over the colour. And again, backwards and forwards, gentle strokes. But you can see if you want a really good silver, a really dark silver, it's really good to go over the black. So let's change the colour again. Now I'm going to show you what the red looks like. So this is a red metallic. Give it a little shake. And then we pop it in the colour well. And once again, we always spray onto our spare paper. And then we're going backwards and forwards over the top. And once again, I'm just going to change the colour. And for our last colour, we're going to put some bronze in. Give it a good shake. Into the colour well. And then gently spray over the top of our icing. And there we have it. And then I'm just going to pick this up and I'm going to gently move it for you, because can you see all that and the different colours there? I think it's quite amazing the effects that you can get. And you've got yourself a little colour chart there, you know exactly how to do it. So make sure you have loads of fun with your metallics. Now I'm going to show you some amazing effects using metallic colours to create a wonderful galaxy on the side of this cake. So now we're going to do the galaxy effect, and we need to use the blue, which I'm placing in the airbrush. Just a few drops, make sure it's the colour you want, and then we're going to put it on the cake. So spray a nice heavy spray. Like so. Then we move on to our next colour. Now to do this, I'm going to empty into the cleaning jar, and once that's got no colour in it, I'm ready to put my next colour in. So now we've put the green in, we can gently spray our next colour. And then we change and put our next colour in. Now we've done the green, we're ready for the metallic red. So give a little shake and then pop some colour in. Just make sure that it's the right colour coming out, and then we're ready to spray a bit more. So now I'm going to put some black on and give it a little shake. Put some black into our airbrush. Now this time, because I'm going to work closer to the top, I'm just going to get a clean piece of paper and rest onto the top of the cake. This is going to stop the colour going onto there. Make sure it's the right colour coming out. And then I'm just going to hold it down while I do around the top of the cake. Now we can spray quite heavy while we're doing this. As you can see, you get a really good effect. So spray quite heavily. And don't forget you're doing a night sky, so you don't want it to be perfectly coloured. And then I'm going to empty my airbrush again, ready to do the stars. So now to do the star effect, we gently unscrew these two little nuts on the end. Now you need to be very careful with this because you expose the needle. But by doing this, I'm going to turn the airbrush to face the cake and pull back the lever to create a star effect. This is going to give you an amazing star effect. And we just want to do that all over. Doesn't that look lovely? Just like stars. Go a little bit closer to get bigger splats. And as you move that cake with the light, you'll really see the sparkle of the metallics coming through. And there's our galaxy effect. And if I turn it slightly, can you see how that metallic glints? So there is the amazing galaxy effect, and as you can see, these metallics really bring it into a world of its own. I hope you'll agree that there's lots more you can do with that. Put moons in there, different planets, the world is your oyster. Now I'm going to show you how to do a lovely iridescent scale effect on the side of this cake. We start with the base colour, which is going to be the metallic green. Now make sure you give it a good shake first. Just flip the lid and then we pour a few drops in. Now whenever you do this, you always make sure that it's the right colour coming out of your airbrush, which it is. It's that lovely green colour. Now I'm also going to put a piece of paper just to the top of my cake, which is just going to stop any overspray. Now what I'm going to do is work side to side. As you can see, you get a wonderful finish there. And a good all over coverage. So I'm doing that from going side to side, and I'm going off the cake either side to make sure it's a lovely even finish. A little bit more on the top there, as you can see it's a little bit bright. but I've slowed down a little bit on the top to make sure I don't get too much overspray. Now, to create different patterns under the scale effect, you can see our base coat is now dry with the green. I'm going to place a piece of paper just on top again, and then with my airbrush I have pre-filled it with gold. Again, make sure there's gold coming out, and then I'm going to spray gold just down the centre. Can you see that gold really coming through that green now? Give it a really good heavy colour. And then once again, we just leave to dry. So to create the scale effect, as you can see, I found this perfect bit of netting, and we've just very carefully pinned in all four corners, just so that it's gently resting against the cake. Now we're going to get the airbrush, and we're putting the metallic black through. So give it a good shake, and just a few drops in there. Now, as I always say, just test to make sure. And then I'm going to gently press against the cake. And we're going to go up and down for this one, gently pressing as I go. And as we're doing it, we're gradually moving across, and then over the gold that you sprayed earlier. And it's important to let your base colours dry for this. And a little bit more black in there. And just gently up and down. If you feel that you need to go a little bit darker in areas, you certainly can. So gently press against and go all the way across. So there we have our amazing scale effect, and just use your imagination on this one. You've got dragon scales, you've got your snake skin, perfect if you're doing handbags, leather shoes, anything like that. So let yourself go with this one and really go wild. Now I'm going to show you how to do this amazing metallic effect using stencils on the side of the cake, and it will look wonderful just like it does on this piece of paper. So next I'm going to show you how to use stencils, and as you can see I've already pinned down this stencil just by using 4 pins at each corner. Now we're going to use this metallic bronze, which is an amazing colour, and this time I'm going to go side to side as I'm doing this. Make sure it's the right colour, and then we carefully start building up. Can you see I'm going side to side? Or another way we can do it is by carefully just going over. If I just hold it down in places, this is going to make it so that it's slightly lighter in the centre and darker around the edges. Just make sure that we've got the coverage right there. If there's any bits that look a little bit too light, just go over them again. So as you can see, I've pinned that over the top of the first layer that we've done. Now very carefully with your airbrush, what we're going to do is follow the lines. So as you can see, I'm not actually airbrushing all of the lines to make a solid colour. But this is going to create a really stunning effect. And then we're ready to reveal our wonderful stencil. So again, hold it at the top, carefully pull out those pins. And then hold away to reveal a beautiful 3D pattern. Now I'm going to be showing you how to do a marvellous gold leaf effect just using a simple piece of paper that I've torn holes in. It's going to look amazing. Next I'm going to show you how to do the gold leaf effect, but before we start we need to prepare ourselves. So we get a little piece of paper and we're just going to fold it and tear little sections out. Now don't make these too neat, as you can see. We don't want perfect circles and we want lots of little jagged edges. And we keep going with that all over the paper. Now here's one I've prepared earlier, which I'm ready to start with. So now we're going to turn the airbrush on. And make sure when you do start with the gold, you're going to shake the colour really well. And then we place the gold in the cup. Now I always spray to make sure the right colour's coming out. And then what we're going to do is gently place that over our cake like a stencil and gradually spray. And then move over slightly to spray the next section. Now when you're using a stencil, it's important to be directly on top of what you're airbrushing. Now if I move that away, you can see we've got a lovely pattern forming already. Now you do need to leave that to dry a little bit before you do your next pattern. And there we have it, our lovely gold leaf effect. Doesn't it look stunning? Next I'm going to show you how to do an amazing metallic effect on this simple sugar arrangement that I have here on the cake. I've already made this lovely sugar arrangement and I've taped it all up together, but I just want to show you how easy it is to turn this into a wonderful metallic gold colour. So first what I'm going to do is just separate them slightly so that I can pull back the petals. Now this is simply so that I can get into all the little nooks and crannies. So please be careful, obviously this is sugar and we don't want to break it. Now I've already loaded my airbrush. So then I'm going to bring it in and we're going to start airbrushing. So I'm going to start right in the centre and I'm going to focus on the one petal at a time and gradually build up the colour. Now can you see how I'm moving the petal all around? Now this is going to get into all the nooks and crannies. And actually I think that pink underneath gives it a lovely base coat. And let's turn it around and spray this one. Now I'm going to turn it over. So focus on one petal at a time, otherwise you will end up missing bits. So you can see all the amazing colours that are coming through there just by using that gold. So now what I'm going to do is very carefully, because they'll still be a little bit wet, just tweak those petals back again where they should be. And then once again, you can always look, I can see I've missed some there. So we just spray that in. That's looking good. And now we're ready for that to be placed onto the cake. Thank you for watching me, Cassie Brown, and I hope you've enjoyed and been inspired to get your metallics out and have some wonderful fun. You can see all the amazing effects you can create with these, and I hope to see you soon.